Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Hi, honey.
Hello, sweetheart.
How are you?
Awesome.
Awesome. Now, today, we're going to talk a little bit about where we come from. But firstly, welcome to our YouTube video. I'm Stephen, Shosio Lakamua Ford, and my wife.
I'm Lilly, Tutavaha, Ford. Or we can go with Lakamu as well in the middle of there, but we'll just go with that for now.
And Lily's from Hakupu and I'm from Mutalao. And today's theme is all about celebrating Niue's 50th Constitution. What does that mean? But it means a lot to a lot of people. It means when Niue become independent and supposed to be self-government. But thanks be to God, we're still under the jurisdictions of New Zealand and Her Majesty. So we're proud. So today, to all the Niueans, happy Niue 50th anniversary. We wish we could be in Niue to celebrate this, momentous occasion in our lifetime, because the next 50 years we might not be here. And
might is, I don't think might is a word. We definitely won't be here. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us. This is Lily. I also have a YouTube video, and we want to come together today, as Stephen was saying. To
celebrate.
Celebrating 50 years of New Zealand, Niue as self-governed, and still the aid of New Zealand. I'm just repeating what he's saying. But anyway, thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure, and we're always thankful and grateful that you guys tune into our YouTube videos.
Yes, we are absolutely thankful, but don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube video, like our YouTube video, and there are some content in there in our description that you can also join as part of celebrations. We are celebrating who we are as Niueans, but we have the opportunity to come to New Zealand and start a new life. So we call New Zealand today as Niue, Niuway, Niue. And we're grateful that we have New Zealand as our new homeland, or some might call it a promised land. And of course, gratitude also to our parents and our great-great-parents. And part of the process of our celebration today, we're going to play a bit of music from Lily's mum and dad, who composed these beautiful songs for the Niuean people. And we want you to just hear it, that we are celebrating also that's their success and being productive also for the Niuean people while they were in Niue. And unfortunately, Lily's mum, Lilly and I, has passed on, but Mr. Tutavaha, that's Lily's dad, is still ramping on at 96 years of age. So we're grateful. We're part of that celebration.
Absolutely. So just a question, honey. Where were you in 1974?
74.
October.
I was still at school.
You were still at school?
I was still at school.
1974? Yeah. You were 15 then?
That's only 4 years since I arrived in New Zealand in late 69.
Oh, okay. I thought you left school at that time.
No, 75, I think. I fought the teacher.
Okay.
I left school. I wouldn't encourage that.
Okay. So for me, I was 14. He was 15 that year, 1974, October. I honestly don't have any memory of that time when I did know that there was some sort of celebration, but I didn't understand it. Being a teenager, it's like whatever. Yeah, so I just like to share, if anyone has anything to share about that year, what were they doing? Where were they? That'd be nice if you could make a video of it as well, and just like we're doing. It'd be nice to know where you were in 1974 when Niue became independent, and how you celebrated.
Well, at the time, I didn't think of nothing of Niue at the time. I was only young, and all the glitter of New Zealand was far more important to me at the time. However, in the celebrations of Niue's Constitution, we're celebrating it. And of course, to Niue and all its people, hey, happy anniversary, is that? 50th.
Years.
Mm-hmm. Now, we can only practice this in New Zealand, of course. As I said earlier, we would love to have traveled to Niue to celebrate that wonderful occasion, which is at this point of time. And today's date is the 18th of October 2024. But firstly, before we carry on, I want to introduce you to my wife's wonderful parents, Tutavaha and Lilly and I. And this is the song they composed, Tau Fuata Niue. So just have a little listen. Excuse me. We re-recorded this
We're talking French.
around about 2010. This is before we shifted to Australia.
212.
So have a little listen. And this is our celebrations also with you, utilizing something unique and precious to us. So as we listen in the background of that wonderful composed music by Lily's parents, we're celebrating with all the Niueans that Tutavaha Niue means the young people of Niue. Come out of the rock. It is true. Come out of the rock and go and enjoy this pristine world that God has created for all human beings to enjoy. Nothing wrong with the rock. The rock, the Niue, it will always be there. But I can tell you what, come out of the rock, get out to the new promised land and enjoy it.
Okay, just carry on from what Stephen was saying. That's his interpretation of the song. My dad's interpretation of this beautiful song is that he's talking about more of the younger generation, the younger people in Niue, how most of them live for the physical side of things, but not the spiritual. So he's really saying in the song that pray and get to know God first in your life, and let other things come in after that. So that's part of also another understanding to this song, that he was saying that the youth were more worried about going out drinking and enjoying the physical things in life, but when it comes to the spiritual side, that's where you're more stronger. So that's from Dad's words himself. But anyway, we want to congratulate everyone that's in Niue. Amazing. You guys are amazing to be there right now to celebrate. Oh, like Stephen says, we wish we could be there as well, but just under circumstances, we're going to celebrate here in Niue, which is New Zealand.
Of course.
And we've
We'll
got a
be
lot
there
of
with you.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of celebration coming up, and we're a day ahead of Niue, remember? So I think today and tomorrow we're celebrating.
And we'll post this up today as soon as we finish, after we start editing it, of course.
Yeah, so that's about it, guys.
One of the celebrations, or one of the memorable stories that even my son plays a drama about it, is about, I think it's a sad story, but I should tell it because it involves also Lily's father. At the time when Lyson was murdered in Niue, Lily's dad was also in prison with those accused. And that is memorable because luckily, well, thank God, Mr. Tutavaha was released before the incident happened. So I'm telling the story to remember certain occasion that probably, has dawned in people's life. And Hala was part of the prison community, I guess, that was involved in that situation. But thankfully enough, he got released and he wasn't part of the actual event. Now, I'm not celebrating it. I'm just sharing a story that comes to mind. But one of the most important things in the celebrations of Niue is just being a child back in Niue and enjoying, running around bare feet, enjoying the rain whenever it rains in Niue, because Niue didn't have proper water system then. This is around about the 60s, of course. And whenever there's rain, everybody will come out with their soap and have a bath out in rain. And that was another memorable occasions. And hunting for unga is another one.
And crabs.
But in sharing that also, I want to share also part of my family tree, for example. I'm not going to probably remember all of them. But my mum and dad, Shosiua and Laufo Fumutalao, and grandparents, I'm going to have to dig that out a bit further as we go, I think. Sorry. I shouldn't be. But one of my grandparents, more Nifo and Talauta. Now, Talauta is one of the men 150 men who volunteered as 150 men that went out to the World War One. He survived and he returned to Niue peacefully and continued loving God, and also prophesied before me when I was born. And this is part of the celebration. I'm going to tell the story. My mum keeps reminding me of this situation and occasion. And I think Mum said it was only about a week or 2 weeks old, and I fell off a bed in Niue and landed flat on my head on the concrete. And grandfather saw that, and then he prophesied to my mum. And my mum will always remind me what her father had said to at the time. And those words stuck with me, because every time when I grew up, every time when I do something outrageous, Mum would always say, "No wonder your grandfather said those things about you." And the words was, "Ko whanau te koe uru ngata he lamorangi," which means, I think, to a certain degree, it means you have borne the head of this universe. Okay, I'm proud of the fact that my grandfather said that. So that's part of my celebration also, remembering those times. And hun?
Oh, yes.
Oh, you got no more to share? Okay.
Well, I do have to share about my life in Niue. It was an amazing childhood. It's a life that I'll always treasure, because being with family, mum and dad, life was so good back then growing up with the siblings, the cousins, and everyone was just so close together. You have aunties who will come over and help and do things together with mum and the ladies would go in the caves and they'd be doing their weaving in there, because the sun was, hot, so it was cool in the caves, and you can hear them laughing, and I guess when they're not laughing, they must be gossiping then, like they must be quiet, they'd be whispering, talking about whoever. But anyway, it was lovely memories back in the island, because I think for me personally, I grew up feeling warm, feeling loved, feeling there was no lack of food, that we weren't ever lacking anything, that we were all just the same, our neighbours were the same, we were all the same growing up. But when we made that transition over to New Zealand, I felt different then, because I felt, we are different. We couldn't speak the language, English. I felt poor. I felt isolated. I felt, all these feelings. I felt cold. I felt hungry. I never felt those things in Niue, so I can say that my upbringing in Niue was was the best as a childhood, just the memories.
So while we continue the video, I'm just going to ramp up this music a bit more to sing along with some of the greatest composer of Niuean songs.
Anyway, we would really like to say that I hope you guys are enjoying this weekend and next weekend as well, because we want to celebrate the whole week of this Constitution starting this weekend and next weekend.
So in that part of the celebrations, we wish all the Niueans again happy anniversary
and celebrate
life.
Celebrate being a Niuean, being proud Niuean.
But since we are in New Zealand now, we have adopted New Zealand as our new Niue. But because where we were born, we've got to acknowledge that fact. But we're so proud today that New Zealand is where we are, celebrating the 50th days of Niue's independence, of course. We love you, Niue. We love you, all the people of Niue. And we're going to sign off now with, we love you. God loves you.
Yes,
and
yes.
we see you.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Niuean, celebrate. Happy Niue 50 years anniversary.